is going to be the grooming of the next generation. This is going to be the grooming of the next generation.
How many people here do not support the resolution as read? Raise your hand. How many of you support the resolution asking your council members to take a position? Please raise your hand. Okay, thank you all very much. That's all I have for now. I'll tender any further questions.
3 to 6 year olds, they must be protected. If queens read, children are now somehow infected. Let the queens read. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dylan Pontiff. I'm actually going to be one of the drag queens reading for Drag Queen Storytime. So apparently to a lot of people in this room, I'm the big boogeyman. I am just as talented as a singer or a dancer or anyone that has a special talent. It just mine is dressing up as a woman, entertaining a crowd. The eyes that people give you whenever they think that you are the one that's in support of this event is truly disgusting. But I'm here to let you know that this event is something that's going to be very beautiful. And for the children and the people that support it are going to realize that this is going to be the grooming of the next generation. This is going to be the grooming of the next generation. We are trying to groom the next generation to not see the way that they just did. And just because I said that, you heard the little plure of people behind me. It's disgusting.
I'm Zach Sasser. I'm the pastor at First Presbyterian Church. I'm here to speak against the resolution. Those who oppose this may be on the side of damnation. You know, you'd have to clear a spot for me too if you're going to go there for loving people. I want to just tell you 3 quick stories about 3 different children. One was one that I saw holding a sign across from my sanctuary, across my church the other day, with a group who was opposing this story time. I'm guessing he was around 8 years old. And he was holding a sign condemning other creatures made in God's image with the authority of God because his parents brought him out there to do that.
I'd like to talk about what I do in drag. In my troupe, we have what is called a bearded queen. And she models her drag after, yes, Annie Jones, the bearded woman from the famous freak shows of the 19th century. So one day, we were at a convention in Lake Charles, and a small girl came up to us. She was no more than 5 years old, and she asked my castmate, "Why are you dressed like a woman?" And my castmate replies to her almost instantly, "Because I want to feel pretty." That little girl said, "Okay," smiled, waved, took a picture with us, and walked away. That conversation and that interaction took 30 seconds. If parents cannot take 30 seconds to explain to a child that someone can be whoever or whatever they want to be, I think that is a failure as a parent.
You can be whatever you want to be any time of your life. It doesn't matter.
This drag queen, Ophelia, sharing that exact message to a packed bookstore. This drag queen, Ophelia, outside a smaller peaceful protest taking place across the street. This group believes children shouldn't be discussing gender and sexuality.
The connection between this drag queen story time and the LGBTQ LMNOP movement is obvious, and we have to take a stand as families.
Andrew Beckwith is president of the Massachusetts Family Institute. He says an upset parent brought it to their attention. The nonprofit then took to social media calling for Drag Queen Storytime to be canceled.
What is it about these guys dressing up like hypersexualized women and reading to small children that they feel the need to do that? It's really kind of concerning.
The few, because it has been very few, the few negative screams and howls that we've received, they've been things like "Hail Satan." One lady screaming that, "Hail Satan." I mean, so this is not about rights. It's not about giving drag queens the right to educate our children, but it's clearly about a satanic culture. Satan trying to infiltrate and to destroy our children.
A mother and father are suing a school district for nearly $1 million after they say a second grade teacher singled out their 8-year-old son, asking him if he's transgender. The parents tell us that teacher then taught inappropriate lessons right at school, ones they had no idea about.
Those parents in Woodburn tell me their 8-year-old was held back from recess multiple times for one-on-one conversations about his gender identity. They say they had no idea about this. Now, to protect their son's privacy, the mom and dad do not want to share their identities, so off camera tonight and with disguised voices, they're sharing their son's story.
He feels different now. He feels confused.
With their voices disguised and their identity concealed.
To hear your son say that on a couch, talking to a therapist, holding back his tears, is very heartbreaking.
A mother and father want to shine a light on the secret lessons that they say were taking place at this school. One-on-one conversations about being transgender between their 8-year-old son and his 2nd grade teacher.
She should have notified us if that was the case, if he did say he felt like a girl.
The parents say that teacher in Woodburn asked their son if he thought he was a girl. They say she held him back from recess several times to watch videos and read these books about being transgender.
He came home Friday with the books in his backpack.
The parents say they had no idea these conversations were taking place, and that teacher crossed a huge line, taking away their rights as parents, especially on such a personal matter.
Well, still today, a year later, he still feels if he plays with my niece, he's a girl at that moment. If he plays with my nephew, now he's being a boy.
The mother says her son is left confused and hurt. The parents say that teacher still works at this school, even after the school sent out this letter. It says that evidence was found that the teacher did pull the student from regular school activities, shared potentially controversial materials with the boy, and did discuss gender identity without parents' notification.
It just frustrates me that my son can be influenced that drastically and nothing be done about it. They just wanted to sweep it under the rug.
That lawsuit filed by the parents is accusing that school of negligence, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The school district tells us they cannot comment on this at this time.
My name is Tyler Alexander, and I'm a member of Delta Lambda Phi Social Fraternity Provisional Chapter at UL, and I will be one of the readers. Romans 10:13 says, "For all who call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." Come, listen to me read. Listen to my sisters and brothers read.
Drag is an art, it's a performance, and it is not propagating sex. What side of history do we really want to be on, Lafayette? And for me, standing here supporting drag queen story time, if that means that you think that I'm going to go to hell, then so be it.
Lying Lunsford. Lying Lunsford. Lying Lunsford.
Sir.
Mike works, sir.
Let's not name call anybody, please.
I'm in drag right now. It's just not flamboyant. I'm not sure my own grandkids, I have 4, between the ages of 3 and 6, have seen me out of drag. I'm usually in drag. 3 to 6 is absolutely the right age group for this.
I'd like to call up Ms. Teresa, the library director, please, for a second. What transpired, or how did the drag queen reading opportunity or story time tell it? How did that get on the program? And the reason I'm asking is,
well, I mean, I'd be happy to answer that, but it's been 3 weeks and not a single person's asked me that. That's right. That's why they have a library director. They hire me to make those decisions as the library director for the library system.
So you made the decision to put it on the...
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you consult with the library board to get their opinion, to feel, to get where they stand on the issue?
No, sir.
Did the discussion even come up between those board members of potentially moving the event to a different location outside of the public?
No,
Was
sir.
that ever discussed or brought up to a vote?
They have to have their discussions in an open meeting, and that open meeting occurred last night, and there was no discussion.
That amazes me. I'm not seeing any other council discussion, public comments over. Go to the vote.
District 3?
Abstain.
District 4?
Abstain.
District 5?
Yes, sir.
6?
Abstain.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Abstain.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1? District 2?
Abstain.
The motion to adopt fails.
This is gonna be the grooming of the next generation. This is gonna be the grooming of the next generation.